You started your Teachers Pay Teachers store and now you're wondering, what is it that I actually sell? Don't worry, I've got you covered in today's video. As a new seller, it's easy to feel overwhelmed on trying to figure out what products will actually sell well. But I'm here to share 5 product ideas with you that will work really well for beginners and have a proven track record for success. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what products to focus on so you can build a more profitable store even if you're just getting started. These tips will work as well if you are an established seller. Make sure you stick with me until the end because I have a free offer for you that will help you figure out what your next best steps are in your TPT store. All right, idea number 1, editable templates. These are great for so many reasons, but they're incredibly popular right now because they save teachers time and they can customize the resources to fit their classroom's needs. So I'm going to give you some examples along the way. This does not mean that I'm saying, oh, go make this exact product. I just am the type of person that likes to have an example, and you might be that way too. And as a classroom teacher myself, I tried to think of things that I knew would sell well based on the research I've done for TPT sellers that I work with, but also being in the classroom and knowing what I need the most. And I've even had sellers inside of my course who weren't in the classroom reach out to me with questions because they know that I am in the classroom. Okay, so some examples for anything that you could make editable. Lesson plan templates, student data forms, parent communication forms, those are all practical and easy to create, and likely you already have some of those things created. Think about how many times you've used them and how they could help other teachers solve the exact problem that they solved for you in your very own classroom. Another great idea that is kind of a bonus for this example would be morning meeting slides. So many elementary teachers use these, and maybe you've made your own and you've made a whole entire year. Could you make a template so that a teacher could use your exact system and then have it editable so that they could change out the things that they want to change? It would be a great solution to their problem and a bestseller, I'm sure, in your store, especially if you're showing it in your own classroom and how it works. I'm going to give you an action step every time I give you an example so that you walk away from this video knowing exactly what you're going to do. So for the editable templates, you're going to choose one area that you've already organized, like planning or classroom management, and turn that into a template. So this idea might require you to sit down and do a brainstorm of all the things that you're really great at that you already have systems in your classroom for. Not only is that going to help you streamline for just being a teacher in general, but it's going to help you come up with so many product ideas and templates you can make. My second idea is low prep resources. Why they sell so well is because teachers love anything that's low prep. If you think about heading into school on a Monday morning, you're already stressed, maybe you're feeling behind. Maybe your favorite seller had sent you an email over the weekend, or it pops up Monday morning while you're scrolling your phone and they have a solution to the problem and it says it's low prep. You already like, know, trust them. You're going to put that in your cart, print it when you get to school, guaranteed. So teachers love the low prep because it's easy to implement, saves them time in the classroom. Time is the most precious resource that we never get back. And so if we can give that back to teachers, then they're going to be so grateful and purchase from us every single time. So again, some examples might be different worksheets that you've created, task cards, those are really trendy. Exit tickets for students when we're going over a topic for any subject like math, reading, science, those are always in demand, and you might already have something like that in your classroom. And what is a way that you could provide that to other teachers and show how you use them? It would be perfect for your store. Your action step is to look at the activities that you've already created that are quick for students. So you might have to think this one through, and it might be something that's quick for you but not to another teacher. So make sure that it's a low prep idea if this is the route you're going to go with, and make sure that they can adapt them and make them their own. That kind of ties back into making things editable. That definitely takes a product to the next level. Teachers love that. Idea number 3, season or holiday themed activities. Now, I go back and forth on this one because it really depends on what you want your store to be known for, but there are going to be different times of the year where you might already do something in your classroom based on a season or a holiday or a theme, and it is really popular with your students and you could share that with other teachers. They're popular because a lot of times teachers go to the TPT search bar looking specifically for something in those categories. And they're always looking for fresh ideas to make different seasons or themes or holidays fun for their students. But getting too hung up on making products just like this is not what I'm recommending you do. I'm just saying you might already have things that you've created that you could repurpose on Teachers Pay Teachers and help other teachers with. So some examples might be Valentine's Day writing prompts, Earth Day science activities, or back to school icebreakers. The list of keywords that perform well from the prior year, TPT always gives that information away to sellers, so check that out because a lot of the keywords end up being holiday themed words. So maybe there's a few products you already have that you could just have a twist on them and make them themed, and it wouldn't be a lot of work for you, but it could be something extra in your store that could give you a sales bump different times of the year. Maybe a month where you traditionally don't have a lot of sales, you could create a product that would fit that hole. Your action step for this tip is to pick an upcoming holiday or season and brainstorm one simple activity that you could create. Like I said just a second ago, maybe it's an activity you've already made that you could theme holiday or have a theme in general for that would help other teachers, so you're not wasting all your time just trying to come up with something new. I'm all about thinking smarter, not harder. Idea number 4, classroom management tools. Those work so well because classroom management resources help teachers stay organized, they create a positive learning environment, and classroom teachers, we all need classroom management. That's just a huge part of the learning environment that we have to have. So if you can create things like behavior charts, classroom job cards, visual schedules, practical, highly usable things that you do in your classroom that maybe you just take for granted, that you came up with this system and it works so well and you haven't thought about it, but you could turn it into a product that would help other people, and you could talk about it on your Instagram story, show how you use your chart in your classroom, make a YouTube video, write a blog post about it. All the ways you could talk about it to get it out there, helping other people. And remember, I've said this in a few other videos, but coming at your TPT store with a serving heart versus just dollar bill signs in your eyes like a cartoon character, hands down is going to bring you more sales and create better relationships with your customers versus just coming at it because you want the money. Your action step, you guessed it, you're going to come up with the tools that you use to manage your own classroom and turn it into a digital product that can help other teachers just like you. All right, my 5th and final idea is bundles. Why they're effective is because they offer teachers more value and they encourage them to make multiple purchases at once. If I have a 1-page worksheet that has part of math curriculum that I know my students are going to work on, but then I see on the product that I could buy the entire year bundle and it's going to save me a lot of money and I'm going to get everything planned out for me, I'm more likely to buy the higher priced item because it has a bigger solution to my problem. An example of this would be, just like I said, combining related worksheets, lesson plans, any activity that can make a cohesive bundle. We're not just clicking random things inside of our TPT store, we're planning these out. And this is what I work with advanced sellers that already have products in their store, but they really want to have a bundle that they're known for, sometimes called a product line. If you're really trying to up-level your store, getting your own big bundle product line created and dusted off and put on the shelves is going to be the next best thing for your store. So if I had to give you one tip from this entire video, I would say focus on making your bundle. This is going to be huge. Once you have a product line and get known for something, your store will really take off. It makes marketing so much easier. It makes knowing what your niche is easier. You can showcase things in your own classroom because you're using them, because you solved your own problems. And it really does become an all-around encompassing great way to make more sales. Your action step for the bundle tip is, if you already have a few resources that you know could turn into a bundle, then I want you to mind map that out and figure out what your missing pieces are and stop having shiny object syndrome. Work on those until it's completely done. You will be so relieved when it's done, on the shelves, ready to go for back to school sales and making more money than you did last year because you narrowed your focus, niched down, and made a product line. Now, if you're watching this video and you haven't made your first product yet and you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, that's okay. My number one tip for you is to just pick a product that you're going to feel confident with and you have experience using in your own classroom. If you make something that you've never used before, you don't have a lot of background knowledge in, it's not going to come across as authentic and it won't sell. So keep it simple. Your first product doesn't have to be the most amazing thing. You'll get better over time. Just make sure that it's something useful and clearly outlined for teachers so that they'll know how to use. And I recommend testing the waters. You can always try it in your own classroom. You can try that with a tutoring client. Make sure that it's tested out before you put it inside of your TPT store. You can refine and expand your products, use the feedback, and go back and make more sales by following the trends in your store over time. All right, let's recap what you learned today. You have been given 5 bestseller ideas for your TPT store. My number one favorite being the bundle. And remember, that is something I can help you with inside of your store. I love working with sellers in that capacity and helping you with your product line and expanding it into a best-selling workshop or course later down the road. And you have so many ideas in your brain, I know, but just get a pen and paper, write them down, figure out what your plan is going to be and start there and keep it simple. All of these are great places to start, but if you're overwhelmed and you get shiny object syndrome and you are all over the place, you're never going to finish anything and then your store's not going to make the money that you know it can. So pick one idea from today's video and really commit to it and make a plan for it. That's the best course of action I could possibly give you. And if you're ready for next steps, let's say you know what your plan is and you want some guidance in that, check out my free quiz below. I have made a short quiz that takes you less than 5 minutes to fill out, and it will tell you exactly what your next best steps are in your TPT store, whether you're on the newer end of it or the more advanced. I have a solution for every stage of your TPT store. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.